If you are using a strategy where you're waiting on running backs, I think Pollard becomes a little bit more valuable.
RotoWire's 2022 fantasy football rankings are live, and on this video, we're going to highlight a few players from Jeff Erickson's top 100. You have Tony Pollard, the Dallas Cowboys backup running back, or 1B, ranked at the 98th overall player. How do you think that the Zeke versus Pollard dichotomy is going to play out?
You think he is ranked way too low, not just by me, but by the industry, by ADP, and all
RB
that.
17 right now by consensus, going at the end of the third round.
Yeah, I've got Pollard at 98. I tend to agree with you. I'm a little bit below his ADP. I'm not going to be going out of my way to get him. I think he's really a good player. And if something were to happen to Zeke, yeah, I'd be all over him. However, I don't think something's going to happen to Zeke, and I don't think he's going to take over. Something could happen to Zeke, but I don't think he's going to take over on merit alone. He's not actually that much younger than Zeke. He's just only a year younger than Zeke. You got to remember Zeke came out early. Pollard's 25, Ezekiel Elliott's 26. He's so efficient with his touches and all that. Well, he's getting the easier touches for the most part. It's kind of that hitters count argument. I think if you were given the keys, he'd do all right. The Cowboys line lost Lyle Collins, who's going to the Bengals. So I think that's a big loss for them. I don't think that line is necessarily the same strong offensive line it's been in the past. I don't think it's like a home run just to say, hey, we want keys to this Cowboys offense.
Yeah, I'm with you that Pollard is probably the best one-to-one backup running back should something happen to Zeke. But the problem with Tony Pollard is he's been in the league 3 years. He's had one clarified start. And you'd mentioned before that it's because Zeke Elliott has 15 or more games played in every season except his suspended one. If you're taking Tony Pollard, if you're in a league with 5 or 6 bench spots, there's a chance you're going to have to drop him when the bye week hits. There's some talk that Tony Pollard will be used more as a standalone wide receiver. That seems like best shape of his life at this point. I like your ranking of Tony Pollard. I think it's fair. I'm just not pushing anyone out of the way to go get him, especially if I have Zeke.
You're not a big Handcuff fan, huh?
I am a Handcuff fan, but it all has to do with the price. You're paying a third for Zeke and a 7th rounder for Pollard or an 8th rounder for Pollard. It's just that's where I'm usually taking my quarterback or my TJ Hawkinson level tight end. Alexander Mattison, for example, where it's a 10th rounder.
Yeah,
it's an easier call, So
he's my favorite one-to-one backup, by the way. Madison is because the price is a little bit more affordable. Obviously, he is the guy should something happen to Cook. So we know that, and we've seen it happen. And something does usually happen to Cook. Right. That's the other thing. More so than it does with Elliott.
We can project Cook to miss 2.5 games every season, so that's 2 clarified starts. Like I said, the problem with Pollard, and listen, your ranking is fair. It's just that 1 start in 3 years.
If you are using a strategy where you're waiting on running backs, I think Pollard becomes a little bit more valuable.
The last point I want to make about Pollard is you're foregoing starting running backs, given with less upside, but Devin Singletary, Rashad Penny, those guys are going in the 6th, 7th round too. Yep. Pollard's going to be an interesting player. The market's on him. I like your ranking of him. Let's stay inside your top 100. Right now, you can see that linked in the video description below. Get all of Jeff Erickson's PPR rankings for free. Number 96, Zach Ertz, tight end.
So he's among a pack of tight ends that are all together there for me. Goddard, Hawkinson, and Ertz all together. I like all 3 really close to each other. I think in many cases you might have to pay a little bit more for Goddard and for Hawkinson, but maybe not. And I'm not anti-early tight end. If you get the right price on Travis Kelce, if you get the right price on Mark Andrews, go for it. I'm fine with that.
What is the right price? Where's the value on them this year? Where's the spot where it's an easy call for you?
Kelce in the 2nd still.
Yep.
I think that I'm fine with that. I think Andrews maybe in the 4th. I'm fine with that, especially for those first 6 weeks with DeAndre Hopkins being suspended. Ertz is going to get a ton of targets, and he was connecting a lot towards the end of the season last year. This is not just a one-off. Also, when Hopkins returns, it's not like Ertz is just going to shrivel away. He's going to still be an important part of this offense, especially in the red zone.
And he's already been a 100-catch tight end. I love your ranking of him. I'm actually going to be lobbying you to move him up a little bit, but you're still ahead of the market slightly on him. Zach Ertz is going to be my most rostered tight end. He represents right now the best value. At number 93 overall, you have Robert Woods, who's coming off a season lost with an injury. The Tennessee Titans have signed him. A.J. Brown is gone. They bring in a rookie, Treylon Burks. Robert Woods is underappreciated. It wasn't too long ago we were taking him in the 4th round of our fantasy drafts.
The discounted reason is obvious. He's coming off a torn ACL. He was running routes in OTAs, though. Not that OTAs are the be-all, end-all, but it's a good sign. Hasn't been cleared for contact or team practice yet. There seemed to be a connection with he and Ryan Tannehill. Meanwhile, touted rookie Treylon Burks is dealing with asthma issues. He's having trouble running the routes a little bit. The route tree hasn't clicked with Ryan Tannehill yet. However, I do think he'll be the number 1 receiver in this Tennessee offense with A.J. Brown off to Philadelphia. Woods is going to get a slew of targets. And this Tennessee offense, this is a good Tennessee team still, too. This is a team that's built to win now. I know this trade makes it seem like otherwise, but they still have the veteran quarterback. They still have, they have Derrick Henry coming back. I expect this team to be competitive. I expect them to. They think they're going to win the AFC South again. I know the Colts are going to push against this, but still, it's in my mind, it's still a 2-team division. Woods is a guy that's worth rostering. There's a lot of wide receivers in this range. He's one of them I like.
Yeah, Robert Woods is going to be the boring wide receiver that the sharp OG players on the NFFC are on. He's the number 1, like I said, he's a volume play. Austin Hooper, same situation. The tight end in the Tennessee Titans, a volume play. It's not pretty, but they're each going to garner 7 to 8 targets a game. I like that a lot. Ryan Tannehill, everyone is off him as well after being being one of the best quarterbacks the year before for fantasy football. I love that call. I'll own a lot of Robert Woods. Christian Kirk, a very interesting player. Yeah. Reset the wide receiver market from the financials. Nobody wants to draft Christian Kirk. I like that you have him inside the top 100, pick 91. Will you be taking Christian Kirk as a depth wide receiver this year?
Absolutely. And I probably won't have to get him at 91. I think for the reasons you cited, I think all that contract stuff doesn't matter. I mean, yes, it's fun to talk about. He did reset the wide receiver market. What the hell is Jacksonville doing? I get all of that. He's going to be the number 1 receiver. I expect Trevor Lawrence to take a step forward this year. How could he not? I mean, he was buried slow, but I don't think he's that bad of an NFL quarterback. He's got adult coaches now. Should have a real offense. And I think Christian Kirk will be the leading receiver for him. Getting Travis Etienne back is going to help make this offense a lot more dynamic too. Obviously it's someone else that's going to take some targets, but at the same time coming out of the backfield. But there's plenty to go around.
The theme of this video: volume wide receivers that are pretty much earmarked for 8 targets plus. There is value in PPR leagues. I like that call. It's not a player anyone's going to fight you for either. Kirk, Robert Woods, those type of players. If you want to go a little more high upside and go running back early, it shows you the depth of reliable wide receivers. A lot of times, when we get to the back end of the draft, these wide receivers are so boom or bust. They're Deshaun Jackson-esque type, Marquez Valdez-Scantling-like. These guys are the exact opposite of that. If you like videos like this, consider hitting the like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And right now you can see all of RotoWire's fantasy football content. Our draft kit is live, our rankings, premium podcasts, articles. Go to rotowire.com/try.